Right, good morning guys and girls. We're on the 4-hour chart here on Bitcoin, and you'll remember from a few days ago I had these trend lines on my chart, and I still was going to stick to them. So we've obviously broken below this trend line. You'll see there it acted as really good support. Well, there it was resistance, and then support, support, and then we broke through it. So that'll be my first line of resistance that we need to overcome, and obviously the top line there, but we've got a lot of work to do before we get to the top there. And then I'm keeping this fixed range pull on, but I'm stopping it here on that candle, just before we broke through that trend line, and then that our value area low will, after this trend line, that'll be my next level of resistance. I'm just going to clear that off so that we've got a clean chart, and then zooming out a bit to our our December range, also fixed range pull. I want to highlight this high volume node that we have here, and you'll see that's around the 42,000 area. We'll get to that a bit later again. Obviously rejected off of that point of control in confluence with that top trend line of resistance, and we'll need to get back up again. So when we clear this trend line, you'll see we've got a very low volume there, so it should be, we've got a bit of resistance there, up there, clearing those lows there and that high there, but then we have a low volume area that should, coming down fast, normally translates into going back up fast again. And then I've got two anchored VWAPs that I want to show you. So the one is from the all-time high, and the one is from a local low that we had there, and just keeping those in mind, we reacted really well off. You can see there was quite a bit of confluence there. Let me just switch on that previous fixed range pull as well. You see there was a lot of resistance there, and I'm a bit disappointed in myself that I missed that. That was an obvious short that we had there. Alright, getting back to the chart. Next level. So then we have quite a few channels that you can draw on your chart. We've still got this one here from well, basically this here, and you'll see we reacted quite well off that midpoint there. That midpoint has been quite a good level to watch even as a trend line. Obviously that Fibonacci channel up there, I'm not going to go too much into. You'll see there's a line that was also a Fibonacci channel, but it gets a bit cluttered when you start looking at all these channels, but they're just all, and you can't really predict from in advance. You'll have to decide on one level, and you'll have to see the reaction that you get there, and then you can trade off of that. Just going to leave that there, and then I'm going to show you some daily and weekly levels that I've got on my chart. So the one is obviously that daily. We've already wicked through it. Let me just go on the daily level. No, that is a new daily level, so I'm going to keep that on my chart. Just zoom out a little bit. That is also an old daily level, but it's really been respected, so I'm keeping it on for now. Remember what we said, when we wick through those levels, then they become washed, but if they are still respected, we keep them on the chart. That weekly there, you can see how well that has been respected. That daily there, still going to keep that. And then we have a daily down here. That's just like a last resort. That weekly is also might be a magnet for us to draw us down to where we can turn. So just remember that weekly. I'm going to remove these others. Just keep that weekly on the chart. And then there's some other levels. Our weekly low is quite an important level, because that'll be our first resistance there just before we get to that trend line to bridge. So that's quite an important support resistance level. And then the monthly, I think there was also two levels that we need to watch. Value area high and the equilibrium, I think. Yeah, that's it. You'll see we're around here now. It was resistance or support there, resistance there. hopefully we get a bounce off of there, and the VWAP. Let me just zoom in a little bit. You see the VWAP and the monthly previous month value area high is in confluence there, and it looked like we got a slight bounce there, but that is very low time frame, so can't really look at that for a swing trade. And then just looking at another chart, and I will always keep an eye on this. This is from the 5th of January, basically this year's fixed range pull, and you'll see, remember I said we'll get back to that 42,000 area is a crucial area. And then that weekly that we spoke about is 42,565. Let me see that weekly, 42,378. So it's slightly below that mid-range there. So yeah, I took a 2022 this year's high and low, and I took the 50%. So that is exactly the midpoint for this year, that level. So that you can see how well it's been respected there, and then we just had a front run of that there, and then we have that weekly slightly below that. So I will definitely mark this $42,500 area as well on my chart, and then obviously that support resistance that we have just above us there, and then that value area high. I quite like that value area high there, also resistance before we move up higher. So that's it, keeping it simple and straight lines. Keep your eyes on the chart, and we'll chat again tomorrow. Cheers.